The dangers of cold weather. Firefighters respond to a fire at a homeless encampment. Fighting the flu and COVID.
It's really hard to spare an extra $100 or $300 or $400 for some families to get their child vaccinated.
Illnesses on the rise, but few Alberta kids are getting vaccinated. And graduation day.
The fact that they chose to do this, they stuck through it. A lot of recent immigrants on this course as well, I've noticed that.
A new group of reservists ready to serve Canada.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Calgarians are enduring some frigid temperatures with wind chills reaching into the mid-20s. Tim Brooke is at Canada Olympic Park, and Tim, the hill is open and people are trying to enjoy themselves despite the chill.
Yes. Don't make it sound too fun, Ian. It is really a great day for a lot of people on the hill behind me, as you can see. Windsport tells us it was actually borderline today of whether they would open or not. Obviously, they decided to go with it. Now, the school's program has a cutoff temperature of about -25 with the wind chill. So some groups did cancel their visits here today, but a lot of people are enjoying it. Unfortunately, though, while it's fun here, it's a tough environment for a lot of Calgarians. A major tragedy was averted this morning after a homeless encampment caught fire. It happened behind a business in the southeast industrial area. Firefighters cut a fence and stretched a hose down a slope. They rescued 2 people with burns who were then taken to hospital in non-life-threatening condition. The cause is believed to be a heater in a tent that the people were sleeping in. EMS tells us it's a dangerous time and temperature for so many.
With these frigid temperatures, especially with that wind chill, that wind factor, we're promoting to cover as much skin as possible when you're outdoors, whether that be working outdoors, commuting to and from work or transit.
Back here at COP, we are open until 9 o'clock tonight for skiing and snowboarding. If you are brave enough to come out here and deal with these elements, well, people here at Windsport are reminding you to dress in many, many, many layers and to also utilize some of the warming huts they have here on the hill.
Great advice, Tim. Thank you very much.
Tim's right.
Yeah.
Many, many, many.
Many, many layers.
Many.
I guess the good news is that this is a relatively short-lived cold snap.
Yeah, we're going to warm up for 4 days. But I want to make sure we all don't get ahead of ourselves here. It's still going to be cold right through tomorrow morning. Cold, cold. So let me give you the 24-hour forecast. We'll start off with currents. With the wind chill right now in the city, at the airport, it feels like -29. So poor Tim out there, -29. And if you have to walk the dog, it's a quick walk because you can get frostbite within about a half hour at this point. All right, so we have snow continuing on and off right until about 1 in the morning, and then that will let up. But as you can see, the wind chill won't really let up even through tomorrow morning. It will still feel like -22 at 8 a.m. However, calm wind out of the south and the west tomorrow afternoon should get us up to -2. With the wind chill in the afternoon tomorrow, it will feel like -6, which will feel downright balmy in comparison to the temperatures we've had. All right, your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. Family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen.
Thanks, Danielle. The flu is surging in Alberta with the number of confirmed cases doubling within a week. There's also been a rise in hospitalizations. This week, there were 802 people in hospital because of the flu. That's an increase of around 250 compared to last week. So far this season, 21 people have died from influenza. 3 were in their 40s and 1 was in their 30s. An Edmonton emergency room doctor has this advice to help slow the spread of the virus.
If you're feeling terrible, don't go out. Maybe join by Zoom or something. If you are feeling terrible, good hygiene. You know, throw your napkins away that you're using. Good hand washing. If you're going to sneeze, you know, obviously sneeze into your sleeve or into a tissue. Like, don't spread these things around.
The most dominant flu strain this season is H3N2, which has more serious symptoms. Doctors continue to encourage Albertans to get vaccinated. More than 100 Alberta children have been hospitalized with the flu so far this season, but it's not just the flu pediatricians are worried about. Alicia Fielberg joins us from the Alberta Children's Hospital. And Alicia, the Alberta Medical Association is calling for free COVID-19 vaccines for kids.
Ian, the AMA says when fewer kids get their COVID or flu shots, there are more kids that get sick, and that puts strains on hospitals. Now, there are, in Alberta, just 10.7% of children under 11 have received a flu shot this year. COVID vaccine coverage is just 1.9% for that age group. The AMA believes that the reduced uptake in COVID shots is because of barriers from the province. That includes the $100 fee and limiting where children can get the shot. The Medical Association is so concerned, it's written a letter to the province outlining why COVID shots should be available to all children for free, not just those with specific pre-existing conditions.
And if you are a struggling family trying to put food on the table, pay rent, or pay for housing, you know, it's really hard to spare an extra $100 or $300 or $400 for some families to get their child vaccinated.
Now, in a statement, the province claims that COVID vaccination uptake has dropped in line with the impact of the virus. It adds that publicly funded vaccines are in line with virtually all groups identified in national guidelines, which include seniors and anyone who is immunocompromised.
Alicia, thank you so much. The federal and provincial governments are extending Alberta's child care deal by 1 year, promising to keep fees at an average of $15 a day up until March of 2027. The new agreement will see Ottawa transfer more than $1.1 billion to Alberta in 2026 and 2027. Money aimed at maintaining affordability grants, supporting licensed operators, and continuing to build out the national child care system. The news comes with mixed reviews from some Calgary parents who say these grants are crucial to prevent their fees from quadrupling in some cases. The lack of a longer-term deal, however, is still adding to the uncertainty of future child care agreements.
Today, we're not just signing a piece of paper, we're reshaping the system to fit your lives. Over the next year, we'll keep listening to our operators, to our families. We'll take your stories forward and continue to work collaboratively together with the federal government to ensure a long-term deal that meets the needs of Alberta families and operators.
Some Alberta daycare operators are grateful to see the deal extended, but warn they need more long-term certainty. WestJet is pausing its plan to install more non-reclining seats following pushback from customers and crews. The Calgary-based airline has already reconfigured 21 of its planned 43 planes. Those aircraft have less legroom, an extra row of seats, and charge more for those that recline. Employees have been warning it's frustrating guests. To prove their point, they invited company executives to fly in the cheap seats from Toronto to Calgary. Following that flight, WestJet hit the brakes on its plans. It says it may resume the seat reconfiguration in the spring. Alberta's government is giving young people the opportunity to use the Canada Strong Pass at provincial museums and heritage sites over the next month. Children will get free admission, and young adults from 18 to 24 will get half-price admission to 8 sites, including the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller. The special pricing is in effect starting today until January 15th. The Canada Strong Pass already grants free admission to national parks like Banff and historic sites over the same time period. The province says a family of 4 with children under 17 can save $20 on each visit to a museum or historic site. Junior hockey teams spent a lot of time on the highway during the season, and last night a team's bus slid off the road in northern Alberta. Just ahead, an update on the players on board. And what a sight on a Calgary road. Fortunately, the driver was the only person on a bus that caught fire. A bus carrying a junior hockey team has crashed in northern Alberta. The Athabasca Rivermen were on their way to the Crow's Nest Pass early this morning when the team's bus lost control and slid into the ditch. 2 members of the team were taken to hospital in Edmonton with non-life-threatening injuries. Others on the bus were treated for minor injuries and soreness at the scene. RCMP say road conditions were believed to be a contributing factor as the highway was partly snow-covered, icy, with temperatures around -37. A bus driver has gone to hospital after a Calgary transit bus burst into flames this morning. The bus caught fire on Nose Hill Drive Northwest, just east of Stony Trail. Calgary Transit says the bus had just finished its route for the morning and was heading back to the bus barn. There were no passengers on board. The driver was injured trying to put the fire out with an extinguisher. Calgary Transit is thanking a local citizen who helped keep the driver warm in their car until he could go to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And a cube van caught fire this morning in the northeast community of Martindale. Firefighters were worried the flames would spread to a nearby LRT line and structures, but they were able to quickly extinguish it. No injuries were reported. A fire investigator says there were multiple heaters in the back of the van, which were likely being used to keep equipment from freezing. Okay, so that is the dire part of our weather today.
Yep.
But it's going to turn around over the weekend.
It's going to,
okay.
and we know the cold weather causes a lot of problems. Plus, it's not that enjoyable for most people to be out in it. So I think this will be good news to know that we're going into about a 4-day relief, and then we'll go downhill again. But hey, it's winter in Calgary and southern Alberta. This is what we deal with. But yes, it'll be nice to have a 4-day warm stretch. Here's your Skywatch weather camera. We still have more snow in the forecast and blowing snow at times because it's a little gusty at times. 33 kilometers per hour is the max gust in the city today. So the winds not too wild, but it's enough that it's creating the wind chills. So this is a look at wind chill. It feels more like -28 in the city right now. -23 is what it feels like in Claresholm and Pincher Creek and Medicine Hat, Drumheller, feeling more like -28. So there's a bite in the air, absolutely. You can get wind chill or frostbite within about 20 minutes or just a little more than that on exposed skin. So it is cold to take seriously, absolutely, but we will get out of the cold. It's just going to last through tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind. I just want to make sure, you know, we're not getting too far ahead of this. All right, Red Deer down through almost Calgary right now, in through Medicine Hat, and of course where we talked about the bullseye area being with this system in the southeast corner, area south of Medicine Hat. We still have this band of snowfall. This will continue. It's getting enhanced by all the winds getting pushed up the mountains, and we'll see more in Calgary as well. We'll talk snow totals in just a moment, but I just want to give you the timeline first. We have the potential in the city of getting snow. As you can see, this is a look at 8:30 tonight. Snowfall possible until about midnight, and then it clears out of the city. It will still be further south of the city up until about 4 or 5 in the morning in the far south, but then we're done with it for the most part. If you do have to travel down Highway 2, though, later tomorrow morning, there may be some very slippery road conditions because, yes, we just had snowfall, but also there is the risk of freezing rain down Highway 2 early and later tomorrow in the morning hours. Keep that in mind if you're traveling. All right, so then this clears out for the weekend. But the cool weather will take a little bit longer, and I'll show you that in just a second. Snowfall warning is still in place because of this south of Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat still included because we still have more snowfall on the way before this is all fully said and done. So Medicine Hat another 5 centimeters, Tabor 8, Milk River 7, and just to the east of Milk River, maybe another 10 centimeters possible before fully done, higher elevations. For Calgary, 6 centimeters is what we could see from now up until midnight. And then we're done. All right, -2 will be our high tomorrow, but keep in mind in the morning with the wind chill, it will feel like -22. In the afternoon, it will feel like -6, which -6 will feel very balmy compared to what we've had. And then these winds will kick in out of the west. It will likely be a little gusty on Sunday. That will carry us up to 7 degrees on Sunday, and then 9 on Monday, believe it or not, 3 on Tuesday. So it's a nice little warm stretch. We start to go downhill on Wednesday with some snowfall, and by Thursday of next week, we're back into the -teens for a daytime high. All right, here's a summary of our Toy Mountain campaign so far. This morning, our lovely sponsor, Lux Windows and Doors, presented a check for $5,000. That brings our cash value of donations collected to $561,763. Wow. And that includes just over 5,000 toys. Your donation of new unwrapped toys and essential items go to clients of Fear is Not Love, who are escaping domestic violence. Cash donations help support programs like Indigenous initiatives that foster cultural safety.
We do have a Stoney language speaker who has joined our group, which is absolutely wonderful, which adds a really strong connectivity to culture and safety within our group process as it rolls out.
And once again, thanks to all working on this campaign and all that have donated. Find the closest Toy Mountain drop-off location by using the map on our website or make a cash donation online at ctvcalgary.ca.
Thanks, Danielle. If things get serious, they're the people who leave their day jobs and protect Canada. Still ahead, graduation night for Calgary's newest batch of Army Reservists. High-speed rail service is finally coming to Canada. Joining me is Faisal Karmali, Portfolio Manager with the Popwich Karmali Advisory Group. And Faisal, how did the markets do this week?
Yeah, overall, it was a broad-based rally on the U.S. side, so tech wasn't going so great. Canada positives, let's call it 1% positive on both sides of the border.
And the trip between Montreal and Ottawa will be made much quicker thanks to high-speed rail.
Thanks to high-speed rail, it's going to start off with Montreal to Ottawa with a stop in Laval, but also include that to this destination of Toronto, a 7-stop full journey, taking a 5.5-hour trip down to 2.5 hours. That's the opportunity right now. It is happening out there, but it's not going to happen until 2030. That's what we've been told is when the starting part happens. Now, that'll be very interesting if we built that infrastructure on the west side. Let's look at Edmonton, Calgary. Let's throw in Vancouver in there as well. If we could get this type of infrastructure, that's economic stimulus immediately versus waiting for some tariff or exporting deal that could take decades to come to fruition.
And there's new data on the rental market across Canada.
Yeah, when you look at what's been happening over the past 10 years, people have been doubling up, and therefore they're living with their parents, or they've got roommates, or they've been getting together to afford the housing costs as we have today. Now we're starting to see some signs of undoubling. That's going to be the 2026 word for you. I think that's going to be an opportunity for people to leave their homes that they were living with their families or with roommates and start renting on their own, putting a floor on the pricing of rent and possibly a floor on condo prices as well.
Undoubling. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks very much, Faisal.
Thanks for having me.
Elections Alberta is getting more money to deal with the growing number of recall applications. So far, recall petitions have been approved for 21 MLAs, including the Premier. Alberta's Chief Electoral Officer says verifying each petition costs over $300,000. Today, a legislature committee unanimously agreed to grant nearly $7 million to Elections Alberta. The Alberta Teachers Association is accusing the province of bad faith bargaining over the recent strike. Today, the teachers' union filed a Labour Board relations complaint. The ATA says during the strike, the government made misleading claims about what was eventually promised to address classroom sizes and complexities. It also claims the government made statements attempting to drive a wedge between teachers and the association. The union has also filed 61 grievances, one for every bargaining unit in the province. Two advocacy groups say they're changing tactics to keep a challenge alive against an Alberta law affecting transgender people. EGAL and Skipping Stone have been targeting the provincial law banning doctors from prescribing puberty blockers and hormone therapy to those under 16. The groups say it's unlikely the law can be struck down on charter grounds now that the notwithstanding clause has been invoked. Instead, they want to change their argument to a criminal law issue because doctors who do not comply could face fines or even imprisonment. A judge will need to decide if the change can be made at this point. The federal government extends its childcare deal with Alberta. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The agreement means fees will remain an average of $15 per day until March 2027. Coming up at 6, we'll have reaction from parents, plus details about the long-term certainty that childcare operators are calling for. Also ahead, Calgary is in a deep freeze. Coming up, the city's efforts to help those without a home. Ian.
A big night last night for a large group of new reserve soldiers in our city. A graduation parade was held at the Muwata Armory for 53 soldiers. The ceremony marked their completion of the basic military qualification course. This is the first course new soldiers take after joining the Canadian Army. These reservists completed this course over 9 weekends, fitting classes in between their regular jobs.
The fact that they chose to do this, they stuck through it. A lot of recent immigrants on this course as well. I've noticed that is quite a difference over the last few years. So there's a lot of people that are in a situation they haven't been in before. So recent immigrants coming into a Canadian winter. Yeah, it's quite a shock for some of them, but they all persevered and they're through and now they're done.
Now that they've graduated basic training, it's on to the next step, training in the area they have been assigned to, such as infantry or artillery, and congratulations to all of them. In terms of cold snaps, this was a relatively short one. Next, Danielle tells us about warming weather for the weekend. It's actually a fairly pleasant weekend ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I would like to clarify something. While I deliver this news, it's not that I love this news.
No. It's just part of the job.
Part of the job. I mean, look at this. -18 is our high in current temperature, and -1 is what's normal for this time of year. So we'll get closer to normal by tomorrow. -2 is our high, but it will still be very cold in the morning with a wind chill of -22. We'll get to a wind chill of -6 in the afternoon, which is a huge improvement for us. Good amount of cloud cover. Chinook Arch kind of building in for Sunday as well. That'll get us to a high of 7 and then 9 for Monday. Yay. Ian?
All right, thanks, Danielle. Artists from many parts of the world are creating a new immersive exhibit at Power Play in South Centre Mall. They're creating murals using a kind of projection where a person looks like they're part of the painting. The new space is called Snapshot and will include 13 immersive murals. It's part of Power Play on the mall's second floor. Compared to the loud gaming space nearby, this exhibit is designed to be much quieter and still fun for the whole family.
We tell people to come in with an open mind, their imagination, and nothing is too crazy. If whatever they want to do, if you want to do a handstand on the piece, if you want to jump in the air, whatever you want to do, you get a great photo and you get to share memories with your family and friends.
Snapshot features artists from Spain, Mexico, Ukraine, and the U.S. It's expected to be complete next month. Thank you for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.